Hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel. And today, well, something a little bit different. I'm sure a lot of you are going to recognize this right away. It is Path of Exile. And right up front, I want you to know that this is actually a sponsored episode, in so much as my YouTube sponsor, Freedom, has supplied me with a key to the cash shop. Basically, a certain number of points to spend at the cash shop, let's just say that, in exchange for a review, positive and or negative, of the game. It's a collaboration thing that they have with Path of Exile, I guess. But it is a free MMO. It is at heart an ARPG, and a darn good one. If we go into character creations here, you have 3 different leagues. The default, which is the Essence League, the standard league, which is a little bit harder, and then you've got the hardcore Essence, which is pretty darn tough indeed. Always recommend that you start out with just the straight up Essence League. I'm not that familiar with the real big difference between the two, because up until I noticed that, like I said, Freedom was offering this sponsorship, I hadn't played for quite a while. Now, I've been playing Path of Exiles off and on for years, but we're going to go with the Essence League. You have 6 classes in Path of Exile. You have a Strength class, an Intelligence class, and a Dexterity class. And then you have a hybrid between each, right? So, for instance, you've got your Templar.
Fought, wept, and bled for God and
Alright.
I would have died for my Templar brother.
And he is, I believe, a cross between Intelligence and, I'm going to say, Dexterity, right? Your pure int is the Witch.
They were right to fear me. If only they had listened to their cowardice.
Then you have a Duelist, which is a Dexterity Strength character. You have a Ranger, which is obviously a straight-up Dexterity character. You've got your Marauder. Come here, boy. Thanks, dude. Which is very obviously a Strength character. And then finally you've got your Shadow, which is your Strength and Int character. So, interesting system. Let's say I wanted to go with a pure intellect character. Okay, so we've got the Witch. Right. Give our Witch a name. We'll call her, oh, I don't know, Broomhilda. This has got to be taken. I mean, it's the most obvious name for a witch in the world. How about Broomhildalicious? And that apparently is perfectly fine. So there are some very interesting systems in Path of Exile that you won't really find in other games. Now, we can start right down here with the potion system. Now, I've got 15 seconds left that I'm untouchable, but that's fine. Your potion system works. You know, you do have a hot bar here, and you can see you've got health potions and you got mana potions. Now, the difference is, you don't have to buy new potions, and you don't find potions. You find different size flasks, and as you kill enemies, the flasks fill with life, and the flasks fill with mana. Ah. Interesting. So, as well here, you've got your inventory. You've got your character screen. Okay. They're fairly common, fairly standard looking stuff. You've also got the skill tree, or the passive skill tree, as it were. All skills in the game are passive. And as you can see, it's not tiny. But it's also divided, if we go to the heart of it, into intellect, strength, and dexterity. As you can see, I start with 32 intelligence because I'm an int class. And it shows you, if you go off this way, you can see, oh yeah, fairly obvious, this is all intelligence related stuff. Mana regen, energy shield, spell damage, intelligence, right? You've got big buttons like this one that offer big boosts related to what they're attached to, right? Increased spell, increased cast, and 22 intelligence. This is all spell damage and cast speed, right? Then you've got the really big ones, like 30% more damage when low on life, or when hit, 30% of damage is taken from mana before life. So, all kinds of different. And starting a pure witch doesn't mean I have to stay that way. If I want to maybe get down into, I don't know, a witch with a bow. Okay, well, here's the dexterity field. So I can follow things around until I get to the dexterity stuff, which actually is... that is the dexterity. It's really hard when you're zoomed in. It should be down here. Energy shield. Mana. Oh, we're still... oh, I see. It's not till you get way down to here, because this is your actual ranger here. So, I mean, I could come with my witch and come in this way, right, and start getting attack speed and dexterity, and I could have a witch that basically used a bow, and used it really well, right? So that's your passive skill tree. Let's jump out of there. Alright.
The very sand shivers with malice.
Other than that, it plays pretty much like Diablo. Like, for instance, here's Act 1, and this is the areas we'll be in during Act 1. In fact, I think there is indeed 4 acts. So, first thing we want to do is go over and talk to this guy. And he's got things to say. One of the other things that's really unique in Path of Exile, there's no currency. Okay? Everything is done through barter, including bartering with the NPCs for goods. I suppose I should pick this up. There we go. Ooh, fireball. Alright. Yeah, everything is done through barter. Now, some items are considered currency items because they'll pretty much straight across get you something a little bit better out of the NPCs. But that's an entirely separate video. Basically, today all we want to talk more is the gameplay mechanics. But I just picked up, here we go, this. Okay, Fireball. This is where your actual non-passive skills come from. Okay, is things like this, these crystals. Alright, blue are intelligence, green, dexterity, red, strength. Now it just happens the wand that they started me with has room for all. So, if I take it and put it into a blue socket, I now have a fireball. This will level itself up as long as it's in any socket. Like if I had a pair of gloves on that had a blue socket, even though this is something I'm going to cast out of my wand, if I stuck it into the blue socket on the gloves, I would still have access to it down here, QWERT, and it would continue to level up. So as long as any gem is socketed in your equipment, it will level up. And there's Fireball. Regular wand attacks. Well, you sort of want to collect everything at the beginning, of course. And although there isn't resource gathering as such, you will find yourself wanting to do some farming. Ooh. You can hit stuff pretty much as soon as you can see it. You can even hit stuff off screen. There we go. Now we'll notice if I go in here and look at my inventory, see, this gem is now at 10 of 70. And when it levels up, it will do more damage, and I believe the chance to ignite enemies will go up as well. So that's really cool. You'll see that shield automatically equipped itself in my other hand as well. And it has a green and a red socket. So if I picked up a green gem and I didn't want to waste the only green slot in my wand, I could socket it in there. Excuse me again. My apologies. And how we doing here? Send one down there and see what we can hit, shall we? I wasn't sure if that rock was going to be high enough to block them or not. Ooh, nice. 2 with 1 spell. There we go. Oop, another one, eh? Ooh, took you out like you were a peanut. Definitely not exactly dressed in witch's garb at the moment, I must admit. We'll take that too. There are other mechanics that don't seem to fit the usual. Ooh, I just went up a level. The usual mechanics you'll find in either MMOs or RPGs. There's sort of a crafting system, but you may not even recognize it as such because it is rather different. You know, these flasks I was talking about that one finds. Because everything's a trade object, if I took one to an NPC and sold it, they would give me a certain small item, and it's one that you need to stack 20 of to get a decent thing up. If I sell 2 of them, they'll give me 2 pieces of that scrap item. But if I give them 3, what they'll in fact do is give me the next flask size up in exchange, a brand new one. So you basically, that's how you would craft a larger flask, simply by having 3 smaller ones and combining them. And to combine them, you just sell them to an NPC. Oh, there he is. You look body. Come on, ignite him. See, I only have a 20% chance, right, of igniting them. So oof. She didn't run. Why didn't you run, silly witch? You can see my mana's managing to hold out pretty good, as is my health. Boom. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. And we got a rare. Nice. But we will take pretty much everything. Okay, see how this has 3 different colored gems on it? If those were all linked together, and I'll show you what exactly links are here. If we go to my inventory. Okay. You know, there's a bar between these two. Okay. That's called a link. Just like there's a bar between these two. That's also a link. If you find an item that has one of each color and they're all linked, that will trade to an NPC for a very special item. So like I said, and that's sort of how the crafting system works. It's really unusual until you actually do it, and then it just feels natural as heck, you know. No, these are just identical. Those are probably energy shield of 4, no different. That is probably not something I would commonly. Now, to identify items, you need a scroll of identification. So that's something I didn't happen to come across any of. But you can get them here in town. And they are a fairly common drop. They're also, as I say, something you can trade currency for. Alright, usually I don't have issues with lag, but it is kind of getting to be peak time here, so. Wow. Alright, and here's our first town. Okay, you have a stash, as you can see. Now, this is shared amongst all your characters. That's why all this stuff is in here. And these are the... oh, I should have put some identity scrolls in. These are all of these ones that are considered currencies in their own right. But they also change things. Now, what I was saying about these 3 colors, if you trade one of these into an NPC of any... doesn't matter what it is, boots, a sword, a hat, you know, what level it is. It could be the most terrible piece of white junk. It could be a rare. But if it has 3 of these, different colors, and they're linked, she'll give you one of these, a chromatic orb. Okay. A very important for usage. Also very important, as you can trade a couple of these in to get a much better item out of them. So, and what this chromatic orb does is if I took it and right-clicked it on here, it would change the color of one of these sockets. Now, it would do it randomly, but it would be based on what the item is. Now, this is a wand, and it is showing increased spell damage, but that's not inherent. So you'd basically get a random chance. If you get something that's very strength-oriented, like this thing, the odds are it would pull red sockets more than any other color, right? This is energy shield, so it's int-based, intelligence-based. So it would likely, if I wanted to change colors of sockets, it would likely change one to blue. No guarantee, you just have a slightly better chance of that happening. Okay. I said, if I get one more of this size or this size jug, I can trade that in. But what I will do, I don't believe these have a level. Those are smalls. Yeah, I can't use those yet. But I can certainly equip another small mana flask. Most definitely. And I'm going to equip a quicksilver flask. That's the movement speed flasks. So I've also got all kinds of kit here, as you can see. Level 6, yeah. Most of it is above my level currently, but I'll catch up. And then here's a bunch. Freezing Pulse, right? This I would want to socket into a blue socket. Now, it's not in my wand, but it will still charge up, and I will still be able to use it. So, very, very neat system. Now let's go and talk to this young lady. She's going to have a big story for me about killing the big bad guy outside, but more importantly, she'll let me both purchase and sell items. So here we go. When you go to sell an item, this is fairly basic. I'm going to sell it, right? She gives me 1 scroll fragment. 5 of these will become a scroll of wisdom, which is what you need to identify goods, okay? Crude bow. She's going to give me 1 more for that. Now this is a superior driftwood wand. Difference there being, see, it says quality plus 14%. That's actually really bloody good. The socket colors suck. Yeah, I'd have to do an awful lot of work. I'm not going to bother. But this would be the sort of thing you'd watch for, that you might decide it's worth investing some of those so-called currency items into changing the color sockets, or adding another socket, or linking them together. This one, nah, not so much. The quality is about the only really good thing it's got going. 12% increased spell damage is what that's giving it. So that's not bad. Now, energy shield 4. So these are pretty much the same. This just doesn't have very good sockets. So, oh, they're going to give me that for it? Come on, I wanted 1 more piece of scrap, actually. There we are. Now we have a scroll of wisdom. Okay. I don't really want... Oh. Attacks per second, physical damage. Not really. Not really. Just throw that one in there as well. And I think we're going to go accept. Now if I look at my stuff, so you can see, I have... Oh. Well, at some point... buggers. At some point, I guess, I should have been watching more closely, but I guess my 5 of these, when they turned into a scroll of... Oh, there it is down there. Oh, 4 of them. Nice. I thought that perhaps it had traded up into that, but no. So, if I right-click this, click this, this is what I actually get. Ooh, that is nice. So, and I will obviously be changing this out. Now, you do get 2 different weapon sets. Okay, so if I really liked this wand, although it's absolutely nothing special, to be honest with you, and I'm going to socket this here. Alright. Now, I'm also going to take the other blue one I've got in there and socket it there, but let's see what this is. Now, obviously, this isn't the sort of thing that... Yeah. I mean, it's good, because it's better than what I've got there, and I don't have anything else at the moment, but it's certainly not something I'm going to keep for any length of time. This one I'm going to take out of there now and put in here, because one of the nice things with this wand, as you can see, is it gives +1 to level of socketed cold gems. So this being a cold gem, as you can see, says +1 level from item. So it's now actually doing more than it normally would. So that's really awesome. So now we can sell these items to Nessa. You can have that, dear. And you can have that. And she's going to give me that for it. I'll take that. And I will equip this. Nice. Okay. And what have you got for sale, dear? Ooh, that's a nice wand. Be much nicer if these were linked like this. In fact, that's a really decent wand there. And if this had been a white, it might well be worth it for me to pick that up as a white wand as opposed to going with a rare and then adding something to it from one of the other little bauble deals. Like you can add an essence to it that will turn it into a rare and give it one known magic that comes with that essence, right? Orb of Alteration. If I don't like the random properties on this, I could change it with an Orb of Alteration, right? Different things like that. So it's always important to look at even the lesser gear. Same thing when you're out in the field. You know, it doesn't hurt at all to have a look at the lesser gear. So has she got a decent 22% increase, 21%, 23, 30%. That's a pretty good one. Oh, she wants an Orb of Chance for that? Really? No, they're a little too rare for my blood to be given away for those. Life regen. What else? He doesn't really have any others. Just those two offered up for the moment. So, but yeah. And here she's got, as you can see, Frostbolt. Ooh, that would be a good one to match in here as opposed to the Fireball, actually. And she only wants one Scroll of Wisdom for that, so I'll take it. Just so I can start leveling it up. Fireball we have. Magma Orb. Freezing Pulse we have. Lightning Tendrils. Ooh. That one we'll take as well. Now, normally you wouldn't be able to get these so quickly, but because I've got a few other things going on here, I actually can. Alright, now I don't have enough sockets for all these lovely blue things, so what I'm going to do here is go back to the purchase, and let's see. Do you have a Scroll of Wisdom for sale? No, you get a Portal Scroll for sale. Alright, I'm going to have to hold on to those for a moment. But I'm going to take this and change it up. Fireball's nice, but Frostbolt will level in there. Okay, Lightning Tendrils. I'm going to put in that one. And you'll see it come up down here. Okay. This one. I wish I had something else that was a blue. However, she's not the only one in here to talk to. And you certainly don't have to build your character to the max, obviously, on your first go. So, we've also got Tarkley here. He'll end up giving you a lot of your assignments, and this is your reward for killing Ray's zombie. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Yeah. We'll take that one. Again, we won't be able to use it right away, but what has he got for sale? A bunch of bows. Ooh, that's a really nice starter bow. 3 green linked, 3 dexterities linked together. What have you got for a robe? That's a nice one. Scroll of Wisdoms, eh? You buggers. Driftwood Scepter. That's some nice gear. Yeah, I could easily trade a few bits of kit out of my own stuff there and come up with one of these, but okay, that just tells me my quest is complete, and I now have a dexterity point, or a skill point to spend. So we can go spell damage, increase spell damage, or increased energy shield and mana regeneration. This one will take me to 20 to max, 20 to energy shield, and 20 to intelligence. Now, because you'll very quickly not be able to level up any sort of really protective armor, because strength is the requirement for armor. Your strength is just never going to get that high. See, it's at 14, just like my dexterity is way down there. These you'll only get a couple of points every level. right? Whereas this is going to keep going through the roof. So you're very quickly going to run into a point where anything better than like level 3 chainmail, you won't be able to wear it. The strength will be too much. So you rely on an energy shield, right? So defense in this game, a lot of times you're really, really tempted to pour everything into damage, right? Yeah, you won't survive long in this game. You really have to think about defense, right? So going up this one might seem like, you know, the real, wow, cast speed, everything else is in there, man, all the damage. Going up this one might seem to not gain you as much as quickly, but it might actually be a wiser route. Right. Now, I'm not going to worry about it this early because I can get a little bit extra goodies, so to speak, by having other characters play, which is kind of a nice thing, too, if you have the time to do more than one character at a time. So, there you go. Other than that, most of it is fairly usual, both insofar as ARPGs go, action RPGs, and in so much as how it plays out. The end game, there's a lot to it. You know, besides just your normal type raids things, I don't think that actually applies. But right down to they actually have competitions of speed runs and stuff like that with leaderboards, etc., and appropriate you know, leveling gear stuff is awarded. So really, really cool that way. You do most of your traveling through these, and as you unlock different things, right, they'll start to show up on your map. And again, if you've played Diablo, you'll be very familiar with this system. But for the moment, the only portals we have unlocked are, well, the one we came in. So that doesn't do us a lot of good because we don't want to be backtracking this early in. Now, let's make sure that what I have here is okay.
I know that stench.
Standard attack,
It's like my sister's.
freezing pulse,
Upon the
lightning tendrils, and frostbolt. Alright, so this I think actually should be frostbolt. And this, yeah, this will go with lightning tendrils. So, let's check it out. Actually, no. I think I'm going to go frostbolt there. And I'm going to go lightning tendrils. And here, I'll go with freezing pulse. Alright, that seems to work. Alright. Oh, we'll pick that up. Something to sell when we get back into... I like that frostbolt, it continues on. So yeah, as I said, the rest of it pretty much plays out like you would expect from a normal ARPG. And yeah, if you guys want to see more gameplay of Path of Exile, let me know down in the comments, because well, I do play it a fair bit. I've never actually played a pure int character, the witch, before, so this is a little bit weird. Yeah, it takes a little bit of figuring out to get the skills to work in sync. Time to take a little sip. Now, you'll notice that I'm down a charge. There's 14 charges left, which it takes, there's 21 in total. It uses 7 each time I drink from it. So, I get 2 more drinks. However, all I need to do and it's now full again. Oh, it has 19. So it's almost back to full. There we go. I just went up another level. But there you go, guys. I hope you... blew you up, didn't I? Hope you enjoyed our little look at Path of Exile. As I said, if you want to see more of it, let me know down in the comments, and I'll certainly take you guys along as I cruise around Rayclast, I believe is the name of the... There we go. This particular place. Quit shooting that at me, dude. Hey, you set me on fire, did you? Well, I'll freeze you. Ah. Alright, guys. Take care of each other, folks. This has been Species 7, having a first look at Path of Exile. I will leave links to both the game, which you can get directly from Path of Exile, or you can get it from Steam as well. These gems are ready to level up. So all of my blue gems are now leveled. Or it is available, as I said, on Steam. It is free to play. There is a cash shop, but it's all pretty much just cosmetics and speed things. I.e., if you don't want to take as long, you can, I believe, get like experience boosts and stuff. But again, that's personal choice. You know, it's certainly not going to win the game for you. It just means you don't have to spend as long cranking around. So, I will also leave a link to Freedom, my sponsor. If anyone is interested, if you've got a YouTube channel going and you're wondering how you can get sponsorship, well, you can always talk to the people at Freedom. Maybe they'll take you on board and get you started. Till then, though, take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now.